When did you first meet Danny and Nancy?
Are we on the air?
Yes.
We first met Danny in about 1976. We didn't meet Nancy till he came to Rhema.
He's about 16.
16.
When we first met him, yeah.
What was your first impression of him?
Well, first time I seen Danny, he was driving an old, I believe it was an old red or white, red Ford, I believe. And he had on a pair of breeches that was about, he was about 30 in the waist or 29 in the waist, and he was about 36, and he had them pulled up with a belt and tightened on him. And he just, he loved God, and he was looking for a place to hide out, kind of, you know, a place to land. He had, him and his dad had some problems. He came to our youth group. I believe it was the first time we run into him. We had a bunch of kids in the youth group, and I believe that's the first time. And then
That's it. Next question.
Hey, I'm telling the story. Dan, I'm telling this. It's my show. When Mother came out, Dan, he loved to pray. And he would, we had a church about 3 miles out in the country, and he had a shovel to back that pickup, that car. You couldn't stick him. I don't care how deep the snow got. He'd just whoop her when she got stuck. He'd raise that trunk, get that shovel out and dig her out and keep going. He worked on that old car all the time, didn't you, Dad? That's why I would never fly with you. I was afraid you'd get out of that airplane and go to working on it in there.
How did he help you in ministry?
Oh, he was a prayer. Dan was a prayer. He went to a lady called Miss Paul, and I did meet the lady later on, and I didn't know a whole lot about her, but she gave him a bottle of oil and told him he was ready for ministry, and he came to the church. I don't know whether he remembers this or not. He came up to me and he said, I've got my oil and I'm ready to go to praying for people. What do you want me to do? I said, well, I believe you ought to sit down and learn. So he did. He was obedient. He sat down and was very submissive to the ministry.
Tell us a special story that you remember about him.
Most of my memories was about the shovel. We had a lot of snow that year, and everybody was stuck everywhere, but you couldn't stick Danny. He could dig out. He could dig out a mountain. That's probably one of the things. Well, he came to me one time. He had gone to work for Gene Circa and was making some money and doing good, and he bought him a motorcycle. Give, I think, $600 for it. He said, it just don't sound right, and I'm gonna work on it. And I went up to this house where he was staying then, and he had that motorcycle in a big old basket. And I thought, oh my goodness, he's throwed $600 away. He'll never get that thing back together. And about 2 weeks, he'd come back and he'd just purring like a kitten. He could, with them big old hands, he could work on a watch. Couldn't you, Dan?
How did you feel when they moved to Wyoming?
Well, we didn't, of course, we didn't know a lot about it. We were still in Ohio when they moved out there. But I knew that if they went to Wyoming, it was because God called them and they would succeed because he loved God. Myrna, you going to say anything?
From the first time you met Danny, how has he grown spiritually?
That's gone off.
Still going.
my, that would be like, well, you know, like a babe going to mature, from where we knew him to maturity. He really grew up in Christ over the years, and just and I say this with all respect, just a country bumpkin that could do anything he put his head to, and became a pilot. I mean, he just could do anything that he put his head to. We just loved him.
Okay, last question. Tell him how you feel about his life, ministry, and how he has touched your life.
It's been a blessing to us to see you grow, Dan, and do all the things you've done for God, and what you're continuing to do, and just being the man that God ordained you to be, and raising the family that blesses everybody. Your children are a blessing to everybody around them.
And the better half, Nancy, is the reason he's like that, Nancy. We love both of you.
We didn't, of course, we didn't know Nancy until he came to Rhema, and that's when we met Nancy. In fact, we drove from Ohio to Nebraska to perform the service, the wedding.
Maybe you just want to say happy birthday?
Happy 50th.
Happy 50th,
50th.
Danny.
We love you guys.
And I noticed last time I saw you, your britches fit a lot better now.
All right.